Hey, Steelers Nation. We're back with an exclusive video packed with the latest updates on our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any exclusive updates or exciting Steelers news. That was vintage Burrow, calm under pressure, commanding the field like a 10-year vet, dragging the Bengals to heights they hadn't seen in decades. So why on earth would he leave? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Some insiders point to tension behind closed doors. There's talk of organizational frustration. Burrow reportedly felt like he wasn't being protected, both physically and in terms of roster decisions. The Bengals struggled to maintain an elite offensive line, and sources suggest Burrow grew tired of being sacked, hit, and hurried more than any top-tier QB should tolerate. Maybe this move to Pittsburgh was a message: protect your stars or watch them walk. But let's not ignore what Pittsburgh gains here. If the rumors hold, the Steelers aren't just getting a quarterback. They're getting a leader, a game-changer, a culture shifter. Joe Burrow brings with him a presence few QBs have. Think about it. Mike Tomlin is already one of the most respected coaches in football, a guy who's never had a losing season. Pair him with Burrow, and you suddenly have a lethal combo of grit, leadership, and elite football IQ. This could be the most dangerous version of the Steelers we've seen since the days of Big Ben and the Killer Bees. And don't forget, this roster is hungry. With weapons like George Pickens, Najee Harris, and Pat Freiermuth, Burrow steps into a system that's itching for a quarterback who can elevate them into legitimate contention. It's not just a reunion of division rivals. It's a potential rebirth. The AFC North has been an all-out war zone the last few years. Burrow versus Lamar, Burrow versus Deshaun, Burrow versus that old-school Steelers D. Now, everything changes. Imagine Burrow wearing the black and gold, walking into Paycor Stadium as a visitor. The Bengals faithful who cheered him, who wore his jersey like armor, would now see him as the enemy. It's almost poetic in a cruel way. But that's football. And honestly, there's an edge to this move that feels like something out of a movie script. Picture the narrative. The hometown hero betrayed by his franchise, now returning to beat them twice a year. The drama writes itself. It's got all the makings of a rivalry renewed. Only now Burrow switches sides, and you better believe he'll play with a chip the size of the Ohio River on his shoulder. And we have to talk numbers, because this rumored deal isn't just 3 years for the sake of optics. It reportedly comes with a contract north of $150 million, front-loaded with guarantees and player control. That tells us one thing. Pittsburgh sees Burrow not just as a bridge to the future, but as the future. This isn't a trial run. This is a full investment. The Steelers are throwing down the gauntlet, making a clear statement to the rest of the AFC. We're not rebuilding. We're reloading. Financially, it's aggressive. But when you get a chance at a player like Burrow, you don't penny pinch. You write the check. You make the move. And if it pays off, you're not just winning games, you're winning titles. That's the ceiling Burrow brings. That's what this contract signals. Of course, nothing this big happens in a vacuum. What does this mean for Kenny Pickett, the young QB the Steelers have been developing since drafting him in 2022? Well, let's just say his days in Pittsburgh are probably numbered. There's speculation he could be included in a trade package to a quarterback-needy team like the Patriots or even the Raiders. It's a tough pill to swallow for fans who had hoped Pickett would be the next in line. But the NFL moves fast, and loyalty doesn't win championships. Results do. If Burrow is coming in, Pickett is almost certainly on the way out. And don't be surprised if a trade is announced within days of Burrow's deal becoming official. That's how quickly these dominoes fall. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. And what about the Bengals? That's the part of this rumor that feels almost too wild to believe. If Cincinnati actually let Burrow walk, or worse, push him out, it would go down as one of the most head-scratching moves in NFL history. You don't let a quarterback of his caliber leave in his prime unless something went seriously wrong behind the curtain. Did contract talks stall? Were there personality clashes with the front office? Did Burrow simply lose faith in the organization's direction? These are the questions swirling in every NFL war room right now. Because if a team can fumble away a generational talent like Burrow, other franchises need to take notes, and fast. The Bengals might be staring at a rebuild they never planned for. This whole saga reminds us of how fragile NFL dynasties really are. One moment, you're a few plays away from a Lombardi trophy. The next, your franchise cornerstone is suiting up for a division rival. It's a brutal business, but it also keeps us watching, keeps us hooked. Because the NFL isn't just about XS and OS. It's about power, politics, ego, and legacy. If Joe Burrow really does walk into Acrisure Stadium next fall as a Steeler, it won't just be a new chapter. It'll be a whole new book. And the league will have no choice but to read along. One thing's for sure. The Steelers just became must-watch TV again, and the AFC North might be the most savage division in all of sports. Let's not forget Burrow's swagger. Cool as ice, calm in chaos. Always the most dangerous man in the building. That personality, that presence, it's infectious. Pittsburgh hasn't had that kind of energy since prime Roethlisberger, maybe even before. This could galvanize the entire organization. From the front office to the fan base, the Steelers have been searching for the spark to get back to the top. Burrow could be that spark. And knowing his mentality, he'll be out to prove everyone wrong. Bengals brass, national pundits, and anyone who ever doubted his choice. The idea of him planting a terrible towel in the middle of Paycor, oh, that moment writes itself. The internet would melt. So for now, we wait. We keep our eyes glued to Twitter, to Schefter, to Rappaport, to every possible source. Because if this thing becomes official, the entire league landscape shifts overnight. Joe Burrow in black and gold. It's the kind of rumor that feels almost unreal. But if even a fraction of what's being whispered is true, then we're not just watching a quarterback switch teams. We're witnessing a seismic event, one that could reshape legacies, rewrite rivalries, and reframe the very soul of two franchises. So buckle up, folks. If this thing's real, the 2025 NFL season just got very interesting. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.